I never imagined that a simple favor from my best friend would upend my entire life. It was a sweltering Saturday afternoon in suburban Chicago when Jake called, begging me to swing by his family's garage to help fix up an old Mustang he'd been tinkering with. Little did I know, his dad, Mr. Harlan, tall, rugged, and always exuding that quiet authority, had been watching me for months, harboring intentions that would shatter friendships and force me to confront desires I'd buried deep. The garage smelled of oil and metal, the kind of place where men bonded over wrenches and beer. Jake and I had been inseparable since high school, sharing everything from late-night video game marathons to secrets about our crushes on girls. Or so he thought. I was 22, fresh out of community college, still figuring out my path, while Jake pursued his engineering degree at the local university. His family lived in a modest two-story house on Elm Street, the kind with a white picket fence that screamed American dream. Mr. Harlan, a divorced mechanic in his mid-40s, ran a small auto shop downtown but spent weekends restoring classic cars in their home garage. He was the strong, silent type, broad shoulders from years of heavy lifting, salt and pepper hair, and eyes that seemed to pierce right through you. As I pulled up in my beat-up Honda, Jake waved from the driveway, grease smeared across his cheek. "Dude, you're a lifesaver. Dad's been on my case about this carburetor." I laughed, rolling up my sleeves, ready to dive in. We popped the hood, and for the first hour, it was just us, joking about our failed attempts at dating, him teasing me about my eternal single status. But then Mr. Harlan appeared, leaning against the doorframe with a toolbox in hand. "Boys, need an extra pair of hands?" His voice was deep, resonant, sending an unexpected shiver down my spine. I glanced up, meeting his gaze, and for a split second, it lingered too long. Jake didn't notice, but I felt a flush creep up my neck. We worked side by side, Mr. Harlan explaining the intricacies of the engine with patience I'd never seen from him before. He handed me tools, our fingers brushing occasionally, each touch electric in a way that confused me. "You've got steady hands, Seba," he said at one point, his tone casual but his eyes intense. I mumbled a thanks, focusing on the task, but my mind raced. Why did his proximity make my heart pound? I'd always known I was different. Attraction to guys had flickered in the back of my thoughts since puberty, but I'd pushed it down, convinced it was a phase. In our conservative neighborhood, where church potlucks and football games defined community, coming out wasn't an option. Jake's family was no exception. His mom had passed years ago, leaving Mr. Harlan to raise him with traditional values. As the sun dipped lower, Jake got a call from his girlfriend, Sarah, and bolted to meet her for dinner. "You guys finish up without me? I owe you, Seba." He clapped me on the back and was gone. Alone with Mr. Harlan, the air thickened. We continued working, but conversation shifted. He asked about my dreams, my frustrations with dead-end jobs. "You're smarter than this town gives you credit for," he said, wiping sweat from his brow. I opened up, surprising myself, sharing how I felt trapped, like I didn't fit the mold. He nodded, his expression softening. "I know that feeling. After the divorce, I questioned everything. Who I was, what I wanted." His words hung heavy, and when our eyes met again, there was no denying the spark. That evening stretched into night. We shared a couple of beers on the garage steps, the conversation turning personal. He confessed loneliness, how raising Jake alone had left little room for his own life. I admitted my confusion about relationships, hinting at unspoken attractions without naming them. "Sometimes," he said quietly, "the heart wants what society says it shouldn't." My pulse raced as he placed a hand on my shoulder, a gesture meant to comfort but igniting something deeper. I pulled away, stammering excuses, and fled home, my mind a whirlwind. What just happened? Was it all in my head? The next few days blurred in denial. I avoided Jake's calls, burying myself in work at the local diner. But Mr. Harlan texted me, innocent at first, thanking me for the help, then suggesting I come back to finish the car. "Jake's out of town this weekend," he added. Curiosity and something else drew me back. When I arrived, the garage was dimly lit, tools laid out like an invitation. He greeted me with a smile that crinkled his eyes, and we dove in. This time, the touches were deliberate. His hand guiding mine on a wrench, lingering. "Seba," he said during a break. "I think we both felt something last time." My breath caught. I denied it at first, but he pressed gently, sharing his own story. How he'd realized his bisexuality late in life, after his marriage crumbled. "I hid it for years, for Jake's sake. But seeing you, it stirred things up." I confessed then, tears stinging my eyes. "I've never said it out loud. I'm gay." The words freed something in me, but terror followed. What about Jake? Our friendship? Society's judgment? Mr. Harlan pulled me into a hug, platonic, reassuring, and for the first time I felt seen. We talked for hours, boundaries blurring into emotional intimacy. No kisses, no advances, just raw honesty. But as I left, guilt gnawed at me. This was Jake's dad. How could I betray my best friend like this? Over the following weeks, stolen moments in the garage became our secret world. We'd work on the Mustang, but conversations delved deeper. My fears of rejection, his regrets over lost time. He became my confidant, the first person who understood the isolation of hiding one's true self in a place like ours. Jake noticed my distractions but chalked it up to girl troubles. I hated lying, but the pull toward Mr. Harlan, Tom as he insisted I call him, was undeniable. One evening, as rain pounded the roof, he shared photos from his youth. A younger, carefree version smiling with friends. "I wish I'd been brave then," he said. I touched his arm, and he covered my hand with his. It was our first real acknowledgement, a quiet promise of more. But reality intruded. At a neighborhood barbecue, whispers circulated about that Harlan boy and his dad living alone. Jake's uncle, a staunch conservative, made crude jokes about keeping things straight. Tom tensed beside me, our secret weighing heavier. Later, alone, he admitted the pressure. "If this gets out, it could destroy Jake. He's got his whole life ahead." I nodded, but inside, resentment brewed. Why should love be sacrificed for appearances? We decided to cool off, but separation only amplified the ache. Jake sensed something off and confronted me during a hike in the nearby woods. "You've been weird, man. Is it drugs? Money?" I laughed it off, but his concern pierced me. That night, I met Tom in the garage, desperation fueling our words. "We can't stop now," I argued. "This feels right." He hesitated, eyes conflicted. "Seba, you're young. I don't want to complicate your life." But as thunder rumbled outside, he leaned in, our foreheads touching in a moment of vulnerability. No more than that, just shared breath, heart sinking. It was enough to cement our bond, yet it sparked the first crack. Guilt over Jake. Conflicts escalated when Tom's ex-sister-in-law, Aunt Rita, dropped by unannounced. She was the family's moral watchdog, always prying. Spotting us together too often, she raised eyebrows. "Tom, you're spending a lot of time with Jake's friend. People talk." Her words were laced with suspicion, hinting at impropriety without saying it. Tom brushed it off, but later, he confided his fear. "She's connected to everyone. One wrong word." I felt the noose tightening. Our town wasn't progressive. LGBTQ rights were debated in hushed tones, with church groups protesting pride events in the city. Being out meant risking jobs, friends, family. One night, after a heated argument with my own parents about my lack of direction, I sought refuge at Tom's. He held me as I vented, his arms a safe harbor. "You deserve better than hiding," he whispered. But as emotions peaked, Jake burst in unexpectedly, home early from a trip. He froze, seeing us close, too close. "What the hell?" The air crackled with tension. Tom stepped back, face paling. Jake's eyes darted between us, confusion morphing into anger. "Dad? Seba? Are you?" He stormed out, slamming the door. The fallout was immediate. Jake ignored my calls, barricading himself in his room. Tom tried talking to him, but Jake lashed out. "How could you? He's my age. My friend." The betrayal cut deep, amplified by societal taboos, age gap, the father-friend dynamic. Whispers spread. Aunt Rita fueled the fire, calling it unnatural. At work, coworkers side-eyed me, rumors swirling. I confronted Tom. We should have told him. He nodded, regret etching his features. I was scared. For all of us. In the ensuing days, Jake demanded space, moving in with Sarah temporarily. Tom and I navigated the wreckage, our connection tested. We met in neutral places, a park bench, a coffee shop outside town, discussing how to mend things. Love shouldn't cost this much, I said, voice breaking. Tom squeezed my hand. But it's worth fighting for. Yet doubt crept in. Was this selfish? Were we ignoring the pain we caused? A turning point came at a family dinner Tom forced. Jake showed up, sullen. Over lasagna, tensions boiled. Explain, he demanded. Tom spoke first. Son, I've hidden who I am for too long. Seba helped me see that. I added, I never meant to hurt you. This just happened. Jake listened, tears welling. You're my dad. And you, he pointed at me, my best friend. This changes everything. The room fell silent, emotions raw. He didn't forgive immediately, but it was a start. A crack in the wall. As weeks passed, Jake grappled with acceptance. He researched LGBTQ issues, attending a support group in the city. Slowly, he saw our side. The loneliness, the authenticity. But society pushed back. At a town hall meeting on family values, protesters railed against deviant lifestyles. Aunt Rita led the charge, indirectly targeting us. Jake defended us publicly for the first time. Love is love, even if it's complicated. His words sparked debate, dividing neighbors. Our relationship deepened amid the chaos. Tom and I shared dreams, traveling, building a life free from judgment. But challenges mounted. My parents discovered through gossip, their disappointment crushing. We raised you better, Dad said. I stood firm. This is who I am. The emotional toll was immense, but it forged resilience. Healing began in fragments. Jake returned home, initiating awkward but honest talks. I get it now, sort of. He admitted one evening in the garage, the Mustang finally purring to life. But it hurts, you know? Like I lost both of you. Tom hugged him, tears flowing. You haven't lost anyone. We're family. I watched, heart swelling, realizing our choices rippled far. Jake's girlfriend, Sarah, became an ally, sharing stories of her queer cousin. Her support bridged gaps, reminding us progress was possible even in conservative pockets. Yet external pressures intensified. Aunt Rita escalated, rallying church friends for intervention. She cornered Tom at his shop. Think of Jake's future. This scandal could ruin him. Tom stood tall. My son's stronger than you think, and so am I. Word spread, polarizing the community. Some neighbors distanced themselves. Others offered quiet solidarity. A nod at the grocery store, a supportive email. I faced backlash at the diner. Snide comments, reduced tips. One regular sneered. Figures you'd go that way. I bit back. Love doesn't need your approval. The confrontations built my confidence, but exhaustion set in. In quieter moments, Tom and I reflected on our journey. Lying on a blanket in the backyard under stars, he traced my hand. Regrets? I asked. Only that I waited so long, he replied. Our bond, born in secrecy, now demanded visibility. We attended our first Pride event in Chicago, anonymity shielding us. Surrounded by vibrant crowds, I felt hope. Couples like us, thriving despite odds. This could be our future, Tom said, squeezing my hand. But drama peaked when Jake's uncle hosted a family reunion, inviting everyone, including Rita. Tensions simmered as relatives grilled us indirectly. Tom, dating again? A cousin asked. He glanced at me. Yes, someone special. Gasps followed. Rita exploded. It's unnatural. Age difference, same sex. Think of the children. Jake intervened. Aunt Rita, love isn't a sin. Dad's happy for the first time in years. The room divided. Some nodded in agreement, others stormed out. It was a microcosm of society's fractures, progress clashing with tradition. Post-reunion, fallout lingered. Jake lost a few friends, but gained deeper ones. Tom faced business dips, bigots boycotting his shop. I quit the diner, pursuing online courses in graphic design. My long-ignored passion. Through it all, our trio rebuilt. Game nights, honest dinners. Jake even joked, "If you break his heart, Seba, I'll kick your ass." Laughter healed wounds. As months turned to a year, normalcy returned, laced with growth. Tom and I planned a quiet commitment ceremony, inviting only allies. Jake stood as best man, his speech poignant. Love surprised us all, but it taught me acceptance. The event, simple in a park, symbolized triumph over adversity. Yet not all scars faded. Rita disowned the family branch, her absence a reminder of lost ties. Community debates raged online, our story anonymized but resonant. We navigated ongoing judgments. Stares at the hardware store, whispered slurs, but emerged stronger. In retrospect, that garage favor ignited a firestorm of emotions, choices, and conflicts. It challenged norms, forcing confrontations with prejudice. Our love, unconventional, sparked change. Jake advocated for LGBTQ rights at his university, inspiring peers. The high point came during a local festival, where a pride booth drew crowds and protesters. Rita led a small group, signs blaring "Protect Traditional Families." Jake, spotting them, grabbed a megaphone from organizers. "My family's not traditional, but it's real," he declared. "My dad loves a man, my former best friend." It shocked me, hurt me, but it showed me love's complexity. Cheers mixed with booze. Tom and I watched from afar, pride swelling. When a protester shouted, "It's wrong," Jake countered, "Wrong is hating what you don't understand." The moment went viral locally, sparking forums on age gap relationships and queer acceptance in suburbs. Backlash followed. Anonymous threats to Tom's shop, online harassment. We reported it, but fear lingered. One night, vandals spray-painted slurs on the garage door. Cleaning it together, Tom said, "This is the price of visibility." I nodded, resolve hardening. Jake helped, his anger fueling activism. He joined a campus group, organizing panels on family dynamics in LGBTQ contexts. Amid turmoil, our relationship matured. Tom surprised me with a weekend getaway to Lake Michigan, where we walked beaches discussing futures. "Marry me?" he asked under sunset. I laughed. "We're already committed." But the proposal formalized our bond, a defiant act against doubters. Challenges persisted. My parents, after months of silence, reached out. Dinner was tense. "We don't understand, but we love you." Tears flowed. Bridges mended slowly. Jake's support was crucial, mediating with wisdom beyond his years. Society's mirror reflected our story's controversies. Debates on power imbalances in age gap romances, the ethics of dating a friend's parent. Online threads dissected it. Some praised authenticity, others condemned predatory elements. We avoided the fray, focusing inward. A pivotal conflict arose when Tom's business faltered from boycotts. Creditors called. Stress mounted. "Maybe we should move," I suggested. He hesitated. "This is home." Jake proposed a fundraiser, rallying allies. The event, a car show benefiting LGBTQ charities, drew hundreds. Rita crashed it, confronting Tom publicly. "You're destroying this family." He responded calmly, "No, Aunt Rita, we're redefining it." Spectators applauded. She left defeated. The show raised funds, saving the shop and symbolizing community shift. As stability returned, reflections deepened. That initial garage encounter had unraveled lives, but woven stronger threads. Tom's quiet strength, my youthful idealism, Jake's evolving empathy. They clashed and harmonized, creating a tapestry of resilience. Years later, our story became a quiet legend in town, whispered as a cautionary tale or inspiration. Tom and I built a life. Shared home, travels, mutual support. Jake thrived, marrying Sarah, starting a family. He named his son after Tom, a gesture of full reconciliation. But echoes of conflict remained. At gatherings, old wounds surfaced, subtle digs from relatives, societal news triggering memories. We advocated subtly, mentoring young queer folks navigating similar paths. In the end, love prevailed, but at what cost? Families mended, but some ties severed forever. Society inched forward, yet prejudice lingered. Our choices sparked debates. Was the age gap exploitative? Did secrecy justify betrayal? These questions lingered, challenging norms. Was it right for Tom and Saba to pursue their love despite the pain it caused Jake initially?